Hey guys, this is Illusion Podfics. We're back with Birds of a Feather by House_Library. This is Chapter 2. It's bright when Peter wakes up. His headache isn't as strong as it was, and he is somewhat being blinded by the bright light. Oh God, am I dead? He croaks. He hears soft, sarcastic sounding chuckles near him as his eyes adjust to the light. Peter groans as he slowly sits up and grits his teeth as low burning pain in his back. He can already feel himself getting better, but it still hurts a ton. It's not fucking funny, Ned. MJ would throw a fit if you. He stops himself as his eyes fully adjust and he realizes where he is. He is not in New York. He's in Gotham, and he is definitely not with Ned and MJ. Who are Ned and MJ? Peter slowly turns to see Barbara staring at him. She looks somewhat worried as she waits for him to respond. He looks at her, then to the man sitting next to her, who must have been who chuckled. Peter's eyes widened a little as he feels a bit intimidated by the man's size. This man is big. Not the overweight big, but the look like he could snap Peter in half big. The man raises an eyebrow at Peter, scooting backwards on the table he's laying on, a pitiful attempt to create space between them. Dick brought me here for this, the man huffed as he motioned to Peter. He gives Barbara the side eye. Hey! You don't get to call me a dick! Peter starts to get up. Not you! He wasn't calling you a dick. He was referring to someone we know named Dick. That's who I called on the phone. Barbara quickly cuts him off and stands between Jason and Peter as she elbows the larger man in the side, moving past him. Be nice, Jason. You don't even know exactly why I called you here. Barb, you didn't call me here. You called Dick. Dick sent me his backup since he's too busy playing Mr. Pretty Boy with Wally. Jason scoffs. Thanks for thinking of me though, Wheels. Barbara gives him a stern look. Jason shrugs. Peter looks back and forth between the two, then puts his hands to his head. No more blood. At least, he doesn't feel anything but the small open wound. I cleaned you up a bit while you were out, Barbara mentions. She takes a couple steps towards him with his backpack in hand. He tries to remain calm as she hands it to him, hoping she didn't open it. I tried to see if you have any ID to get you home, but the zipper was jammed with something inside, and I didn't want to break it or rip anything, she shares. Peter sighs in relief. Thank you, he tells her, giving her a small smile. What's your name? Barbara asks. She seems like she doesn't want Peter to feel uncomfortable, and he appreciates that. My name? Peter stops for a bit. If Strange's spell worked, then it wouldn't matter if he shared that his name is Peter Parker. Now that he thinks more about it, he starts clicking pieces together. They didn't seem to recognize him at all, which pretty much confirms he is not in his own universe, since it felt like his face and identity were plastered over every screen, phone, and newspaper in the country when Beck threw him under the bus. So it really doesn't matter if he shares his name. But then he thinks again. What if there's a Peter Parker in this universe? He can't just go around saying he's Peter Parker if there's someone who looks exactly like him in this universe. He looks out the window, his thoughts racing. What if the Peter in this universe looks nothing like him, like the other two Peters? Peter Parker is a pretty common name, right? He blinks a bit, then turns back to Barbara and who he assumes is Jason. They look concerned at his lack of response. Sorry. My head still hurts a bit, he mumbles. My name is Peter. Nice to meet you both. He gives them a small wave. Nice to meet you too, Peter. My name is Barbara, as you know, and this is Jason. She motions to Jason, who is now standing. They make eye contact, and Barbara raises her eyebrows at Jason. I sort of see it now that he's awake. Just not as tan or annoying, Jason says randomly. Well, at least it was random to Peter. Not as tan or annoying? Barbara pushes Jason a bit, looking slightly flustered, and Peter is surprised to see Jason move slightly at the shove. What? Jason gripes. You asked me, didn't you? Peter looks between the both of them, feeling even more confused. I have to get going, Peter starts as he gets off the table. Thank you for helping me out, Barbara. He starts to put his backpack on and make his way towards the only door in the room. Wait, Peter! Barbara gets in front of him quicker than he expected. Are you sure you're all right? Maybe we can help you out. Since he's met Barbara, she's had this continuous look of pity on her face, aimed towards Peter, that makes his nerves stand on end. Of course, Peter recognizes that she's only trying to help, but it only makes him feel worse. "No, I think I'm fine. Thank you, though. I appreciate the concern," Peter mumbles as he tries to make his way past Barbara. "Are you a homeless kid? Is that why you're trying to leave? Scared we're gonna call CPS on you or something? 'Cause we can promise you we aren't that evil. We can help you," Jason says sternly. Peter stops in his tracks. To be honest, he didn't even think about how he appeared to anyone else since he got to Gotham. Jason was right. He definitely looked like a homeless kid. He didn't even consider someone calling Child Protective Services on him. A whole new group of concerns blossomed in Peter's chest. Here, he doesn't have a guardian. At least back home, he had people he knew. He had May and Tony. Emphasis on the had. Peter looks off to the side to not face Barbara and closes his eyes hard, trying not to exude any feelings for Barbara or Jason to witness. "Jason, what the hell? Why would you say that? What if he isn't even homeless?" Barbara snaps at him. Jason looks a bit triggered at the response. "What do you mean? Look at him. He's filthy. It smells like he hasn't bathed in ages. He looks like he got hit by a dumpster truck, and this kid doesn't even look a day older than 15. If we were to walk out there, someone could easily call CPS, and we all know how big of a scam that is here in Gotham, except for maybe the people turning those kids in for money. More like a trafficking ring than anything I would call Child Protective Services," Jason snaps back. "Actually, I'm the one who hit the dumpster, not the other way around," Peter says softly. Jason and Barbara both look at him confused. He composes himself. "It wasn't a dumpster truck, but still, I hit that dumpster pretty hard," he laughs weakly. "And I'm 17, not 15, he whispers. Jason looks towards Barbara, a mutual look of concern. "I am newly homeless, I would say. Not really what I had planned for myself, but nothing I plan ever really works out for me anyway." Peter wasn't lying per se, but saying it out loud only made him acknowledge how awful things were for him right now. Peter frowns a bit. Sorry about the smell. The dumpster wasn't the friendliest. "Peter, oh, Peter, it's okay. We can help you out. We know places you can go here in Gotham." Barbara looks to Jason and then back to Peter. "We can try Tompkins' shelter next to the clinic. They usually always have spare beds." Peter sees that Jason seems to agree with Barbara as he nods at her suggestion. His spider senses are not giving him any warnings as to not trust Barbara and Jason, which is a good thing. He hopes it's not because he is exhausted. "Okay, sure. Let's do that," Peter smiles at them. Dropping off Peter at the Tompkins shelter felt wrong. Jason didn't like this feeling. Then again, he had been having trouble feeling anything since being back, so maybe this feeling was a good thing, even if it was a bad feeling. He wasn't necessarily sure as to why he was feeling this way, as he had just met Peter about 2 hours ago, but he was already feeling protective of him. He was not about people hurting kids. It made his insides boil with anger at the thought of it. He had his suspicions that Peter wasn't being 100% truthful with him and Barbara, especially with how hurt he got. He wasn't even sure if Peter even gave him their real name. Barb had to stay back at the library while he escorted Peter to the shelter. He had bought him a trio bat burger combo on the way, even though Peter kept telling him no, but the second he got those burgers in his hand, the kid ate them all like there was no tomorrow. The kid could eat, and that surprised and amused Jason at the same time. Then again, it was just another point that Peter was malnourished and starving. There were some flags that raised during his walk with Peter. While he was familiar with Batburger, he seemed lost at the theme of the combos and meals. When Jason had asked if Nightwing was his favorite vigilante due to sweatpants, Peter gave him a confused look as if not knowing who that was. Jason let it go, but he could tell that Peter was now on his toes around him when it came to the topics of their conversation. "Oh, Pabs is gonna kill me for this," Jason mumbles as he pulls out a strand of that he got from Peter as he ruffles his hair back when they said goodbye at the shelter. In his defense, Jason noticed the hair after Peter had left, so he didn't take it on purpose. He walked into a secluded area and pulled out a small scanning device as he put in an earpiece, dropping the strand of hair on the scanner. "Hey, baby bee. Get a scan on this DNA and match it to the owner for me, he says into the comm. I told you never to call me that, Jason. Damien's voice comes through loud and clear, intentionally to make Jason cringe at the spike in volume. Stop complaining like a baby you are and do it, Jason groans. Why should I? You know the rules. Has B even given you clearance to be scanning persons of interest? I thought you said being a hero wasn't your thing, so why do you even need this anyway? Damien taunted, and Jason swears that the kid had it out for him. Damie, I am reaching out to you specifically because I know that you can handle what we might learn from it, Jason says carefully, trying to pique Damien's interest in getting him to scan. As if you expect me to believe that. Undermining the rest of the others is very unlike you, Jason. Even if it's supposed to butter me up to get you this scan, you and I both know all of us are more than capable. Damien sneers out at him. The kid was good. Jason gave him that. Damie, please. Jason grits through his teeth. There's a pause. Damien finally speaks. Desperation is not a good sound for you, Jason, but since you seem to be on a kind streak, I'll see what I can do. Jason rolls his eyes as the scanner in his hand begins to glow and process the strand. What exactly are we looking for in this strand? Who's the person you are trying to bring out? Damien asks. Well, the thing is, it's not really a person of interest per se, but someone I am interested in, Jason says quickly. Another pause. You mean to tell me that this is for someone you have interest in? Like you like them? Since when did your feelings come back? Damien asks. Also, you're making me break protocol by scanning a civvy who doesn't have a criminal record? B is going to kill you. Jason groans as his hands wipe his forehead. No, you little Listen, this isn't someone I like. This is for a kid Babs found at the library. Homeless. Babs has never seen him before, and to be 100% with you, neither have I. He also seems to look a little bit like... Holy shit! Damien breathes out. What? What happened? Jason roughly asks. The DNA match on the hair came back negative in our database. There is no match to the specific owner, which is already something that caught my attention, since the Bat computer has access to every DNA database across 4 continents. But we do have a match for another person. The DNA is a 49.7% match with Richard Dick Grayson. Relationship to the owner is labeled as biological father, Damien whispers back through the comms. Well, fuck, Jason groans. Alright, and that is the end of Chapter 2 of Birds of a Feather by Howls_Library. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next chapter.